Hello, you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Britik coming at you fast with some more Paragon gameplay. And today we are going to be talking about why Core is going to be better than Paragon. Now, I know, Paragon was amazing. We all miss it. It was definitely way better back in the Legacy days, as we see here. That's an opinion. All right, that's an opinion. I have the right to my opinion. But in this video, I'm kind of going to be explaining. It's a very simple concept, really, but I'm going to be explaining why I believe Core. Whoa! Hold on there. Before this video goes on any further, I just wanted to make one announcement real quick for you guys. Check the description down below for a link to my new merch. My kitty agrees. It looks pretty baller. We went with the minimalistic kind of style. Yeah, Rizik? We got 2 shirts up on my merch store now. I'm really excited because I just think they look really cool. I don't get much revenue from them at all, but I know some people wanted some shirts that had my logo on them, so I made a few. Let me know what you guys think and enjoy the rest of the video. Oh no. Wow, what a rude asshole, am I right? Fucking sellout over here, plugging in his dumbass merch while I'm trying to tell you super important information. Well, not really information. That's just my opinion. Today, we're doing an opinion video. So, why do I think Core is going to be better than Paragon? It's a very, very simple concept, and a lot of people have probably talked about it. But first off, I want to mention, why do I keep calling Core and or predecessor, right? Whichever game I'm talking about that day, and I'll try and cover more predecessor. It's just they've been really quiet. I've been getting more insider info on Core. I want to be transparent with you guys. I've been getting more insider stuff from Core than I have been from predecessor, which is why I'm talking about Core more often. But the reason I want to keep comparing and putting Paragon and Paragon 2 in my titles and stuff when I'm talking about these games is because it promotes activity. It spreads awareness of these projects because I'm streaming every night on the weekend. These weekends, I'm going to try to stream in the mornings for my EU audience because that's what they've been asking me. And that's why I just promote it. It shows to more and more people that, hey, Paragon's not coming back, but there's going to be something else. Because people are like, what, Paragon's back? It's like, no. But there's going to be something better than Paragon, hopefully. Hopefully. These are the reasons why I believe Core will be better than Paragon. If, of course, Metabuff executes on them properly, executes these things properly. Same thing with Omida Studios and predecessor. This can apply to either of the 2 projects. It does not matter. I'm not going to be singling one out here, but just, again, for the sake of simplicity, I'll just focus on Core as the main example because that one has been talked about more by me lately. So, the biggest issue with Paragon, as many of us know, is that the reason it fell through is that the developers, Epic Games, weren't really listening to their community after a certain point. They were quote unquote listening, but they weren't actually listening. There were a couple instances, a couple issues that occurred. It was a bunch of little things piling up on each other that eventually caused them to give up and push all their focus into Fortnite. A lot of people think, oh, it's because of Fortnite. It's because Fortnite came out and they were like, fuck it, we're just going to put everything into Fortnite. But really, they weren't going to make that decision until later, until they already gave up on Paragon. I've had some friends who have contacted me, even back when Paragon was still alive. I talked to these people. They had sources, they had people who worked in Epic Games telling them, like, yeah, I don't think we're going to keep Paragon alive. If you guys remember, Imsco talked about it on his streams before Paragon shut down, that Paragon is dying, that it's literally dying and shutting down. So it's been a lot of multiple things piling up on one another. One of them, again, like I said, if you look at the later community corners that Epic Games had, you could tell that they had no idea what the community wanted. That's first and foremost. They didn't fix towers when everybody wanted towers fixed. Okay, I was a big proponent for that. They didn't fix matchmaking and elo issues. They didn't add in a ranked mode. What else did they not do? They, instead of taking the time to balance characters, they just kept releasing new ones that were completely broken at the time of the release. Like Morgesh was entirely broken at her release. Revenant was broken at his release. FaZe was pretty bonkers at her release. And that, I mean, I understand that, like, it's at the release or whatever, but by the time the next hero came out, they still wouldn't have enough time to fix the previous heroes, and it was just a mess. And then the lead the project lead changed multiple times. You had Superville when it was still Legacy, and then it changed when it went over to Monolith, and you had these different conflicting ideas, and then the game is just a mess, and the community suffers as a result. So that was definitely not smooth as well. Then you also had the problem of a toxic community as the toxicity grew and grew and grew and became more and more impatient with Epic. That also pushed Epic Games to kind of be like, all right, man, I think we screwed up too much. We don't want to try and fix this problem anymore. When they could have fixed the problem if they just kept with it and actually started making the right changes, but they're kind of just like, nah, we're just going to give up. So that's pretty unfortunate. But, that's just the way the cookie crumbled. Why do I think Core is going to do a better job? Oh, one more thing, actually, before I talk about Core, is that Paragon, especially near the later stages of the game, catered their game to the noobs, right? They catered the game to the casual players more. Which, at first, it's like, all right, well, isn't that what you want to do? You want to make the game more approachable to new people? Yeah, sure, you do. But they made it too catered. They cared too much about the casual player, and they didn't give a rat's ass about the competitive player anymore. For example, last hitting. Remember when last hitting was actually a thing, and then they switched it to where the minions had red health bars, and then all you need to do was auto attack them once, and it was an insta kill? Or you had cards like Cole the Weak in the last item system after V42 that were just like, what the hell? Like, this is just too, like, super easy mode. Like, farming is just super duper easy now in comparison to when it was actually, that was like a little thing right there, or a big thing depending on how you looked at it. But that was a pretty important thing that was changed. That was a sign that showed, oh hey, yeah, now they're starting to make this game a little bit easier for people, which, in a competitive game like a MOBAs are inherently competitive, and you want to try and do the opposite, actually, is you want to cater it to your competitive audience, because your competitive audience are going to be your long-term players. They're not going to come and go like your casual players that are going to be like, oh yeah, this game's pretty cool, but, I'm not going to, I got to go back to work and all that stuff. They're not going to be the ones buying hella skins. They're not going to be the ones grinding for hours and hours and hours on end like other people that, really just do only Paragon in their free time and become very competitive and highly skilled players. Catering a game around your competitive scene and your competitive players is just really good for the game's longevity, because it keeps that player base around. It keeps a solid root in the ground if you're trying to grow your plant, if you're trying to grow your tree and then your branches, and then you can branch out and then have some lower hanging fruit later. But essentially, that's the problem. So why do I think Core is going to fix these issues? Well, so far, what they've shown is they've really, really listened to the community. They've listened to the community a lot. They've changed a lot of things since those proof of concept videos. I can say that they have reworked the item system. I can't tell you how they did it because they didn't tell me how they did it, but it has been confirmed that they completely scrapped that idea and have changed it around because of the feedback that you guys provided through the proof of concept videos, from the feedback in the Discord channels and on all other social media. So they're truly listening. Like, I'm seeing this evolve, day by day as I talk to these people and they show me like screenshots and stuff. It's pretty insane. And predecessors doing the same exact thing. Sergeant Smoke and Omega Studios, they're also listening to the community very well. Both of these companies are trying really, really hard to make a game for the community, by the community, basically. Just like the U.S., right? It's in the Constitution. And so I think that it's a very simple concept that, oh yeah, and they can look at the mistakes that Epic Games have made and then not make the same mistakes. Wow, that's so crazy. But it goes a little bit deeper than that in just executing it properly, right? Again, I prefaced this video at the very beginning. I said, if they execute it properly, So I feel like if Metabuff will execute their I guess, dogma, their philosophies properly, with feedback from the community, with proper balances. That's a really big thing as well, is keeping the heroes balanced throughout the updates. Making sure that the game is as balanced as possible. Because again, an inherently competitive game like MOBA, you want to have as much balance as possible because every little thing matters. And you also want to have as many viable characters as possible because you want to have that variation in play styles and that variation in gameplay, which is how MOBAs get their variations is from the different characters, from the different 5v5 rosters that occur every single game. So anyway, thank you guys for listening to this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day. Peace.